Police are searching for James Collins, believed to be...
Today we're talking about the much anticipated, not just on this podcast, but just in general, like the talk of this movie for a variety of reasons. Everyone is talking about it. Everyone's been talking about it, looking forward to it. We're talking about the much awaited 28 years later, the third installment, or third if you want to think about it as a trilogy. Really, the way that this whole thing is set up makes... It's not a trilogy.
Listen, I'm not about to throw out the second one like it's a piece of shit. It's like a 5 out of 10. It's fine. No, it can have its spot.
That's not what I mean. What I'm saying is that like these three movies, 28 days, weeks, and years later, in my opinion, are just... I'm thinking of this after this movie. It's really an anthology type connection to me.
No, it is an anthology series, yeah.
As far as like these three movies, somebody the other day, I was talking to a couple of my coworkers the other day, and I was telling them about it, and they're like, "Oh, I need to go back and rewatch the first two." And I straight up told them, "No, you don't."
You don't. I mean, like, I still recommend it to people. Like, you should watch at least the first one.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of they're connected. They're not connected by any of the characters, but tone and a lot of like creative decisions and like they and a lot of like artistic decisions, they're linked.
I feel like I rewatched 28 Days Later the day before we went and saw 28 Years.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad I did because I was sober whilst watching it too.
Whoa.
I forgot just how not disjointed is a bad word, but just like how much of an art film and how experimental of a movie that really is. And it definitely...
This movie is also very experimental.
Yeah, no, 28 years later and days, there's a lot of parallels. There's a lot of... There's a lot of...
I think a lot of people who aren't familiar with the series are going and expecting a dumb zombie movie.
That is what everybody's expecting. That 100%.
And that's the problem. They don't actually remember what the first one is.
Everybody watched that original trailer, with the boots and all this.
And I mean, like...
And Kick-Ass running through the fields and like...
I don't think that people who want that stuff will be disappointed, though, either, because this movie is also way more of a horror movie than the first one.
I would say that this movie has, in my opinion, 3 very distinct parts. That in the first of those 3,
they're not created equal.
No, there is some differences. I would say the first of those 3, but the first third of this movie is the fucking surviving in the zombie world type.
Personally, it's my favorite part
of the first third.
Yeah,
I'd probably agree, honestly. Yeah. I think that even though the first third of this movie is probably like the best, most complete of the 3 kind of stories, but there are moments later in the movie that I enjoy significantly more than like things in that first.
I agree. Yeah. I will say we won't get into spoilers, but my favorite scene happens in this first third of the movie. Mm-hmm. It's my favorite sequence.
You've also seen this twice, right?
Yeah, I saw it twice. I've also been listening to the soundtrack.
Moving up and down again. Oh yeah, no, the soundtrack does rip.
The soundtrack is very good. It's by Young Fathers, who I had never heard of. But I love when a band gets to do a score for a movie. Please see it. I really like it. Yeah, I really like it, except for some stuff.
Leave 3 minutes early, honestly.
The police are searching for James Collins, believed to be...